Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in. This is RAERAE All Day. You can also catch me on IG at All Day RAERAE and also on the Threads app. Child, have y'all been watching Love and Marriage Huntsville? Ooh, I had to combine a couple episodes like I did with Bell Collective. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead, check it out. I also review The Housewives, Married to Medicine, Southern Charm, Power, and Book 3, Canaan just came out. I also did all of Force, Season 2 of that. They got it going on over there on Stars, y'all. But back to on TV. Child, yes, Love and Marriage Huntsville. We're going to get right into it. Season 6, episode 26. Let me clear my throat. I've been drinking some tea. As you can tell, my voice is a lot better than it was a week or 2 and 3 ago. Had a little something going on, but I'm all better now, boo. Ooh, let's get it in. So you know I got my notes. Child. Now, we are leaving off from episode 25. Remember when Kiki and Tiffany Whitlow was talking? And that's when we see Kiki is surprised that there's a baby in tow with Tiffany. You know, she had to bring the baby as a little safeguard because, I don't believe she believes. I don't believe Tiffany believes Kiki got it all together. So I believe she brought that baby. Not just because, the baby is so dependent upon her breasts. Semicolon, however, comma, I believe she don't trust Kiki, okay? And that's that on that. But yeah, Tiffany and Kiki talking, and Kiki is just letting her know that, it's not all what you think it is. But as you can see on Tiffany's face, she don't believe Kiki. I think Tiffany feels she's above Kiki because those things she was saying on Carlos King interview was really low and disparaging, especially for someone who's battling addiction and considering within this conversation, Tiffany gave her summation about how she takes addiction seriously, considering her own biological parents, well, her 2 parents, had that same type of addiction. But yeah, they're just talking about things, and Tiff made it seem like she's better than Kiki. That's just how I see it. I think Tiffany wants nothing to do with Kiki based on her relationship with Tisha. Now, I do agree with Tiffany because of how Kiki treated or treats her first cousin Tisha. I wouldn't want that person on my team either. I agree with that. Don't get me wrong, because baby, if I did a vlog on first cousins who ain't sugar honey iced tea, your mind would be blown. Look, I sound like Kiki. If you only knew what she did to me, you wouldn't be feeling like that. I feel both of them. Both of them have great points in this conversation. However, I just don't think Tiffany sees it for Kiki. But I do appreciate how Tiffany apologized to Kiki for judging her in that respect. I don't believe Tiffany meant the apology. she don't want to be Kiki friend, and she's fine with that, considering, we all know about her longevity on the show, which is shorter than my pinky toe. That's just how that went. But they were just talking. It was a pleasant conversation, especially with the baby there. And plus, Kiki don't want to seem like she is that she can't hold a conversation with folks. She got to protect her reputation as much as she can. Next, it wasn't that long of a conversation between Chris. He came to visit Martell at the new place. And, Chris visits Martell, like I said, for a short time. And Martell asked about how was the family dinner. And of course, we know how that went. I think that was episode 24, wasn't it? Chris, told him that, his daughter apologized after she came back and pretty much destroyed dinner. But, family is, they've got a lot going on. And it's just, just something that they have to continuously work on. As you can see, Martell got on glasses. He got his blepharoplasty. I think that's what it's called, when you get the excessive eyelid tissue removed. He better look better, because if he was holding out with that money when he should have been moving, that should have been his moving money, he better look better. Look, we all keeping tabs on his change since he asking folks since he asking his girl at the time, his girlfriend or his friend girls' friends for them to cash app him, even though he paid for the dinner. Now, was all this because of that? Cash apping folks ain't moving because, he really, deep down, he don't have the funds to move, because legally he should have been gone. He lucky Chris is his friend. Child, see, that's probably why he didn't pass that open book test, but that's a whole other time. Conversation for a whole another time, child. But anywho, like I said, I'm just real shocked because Martell made a comment when Chris asked him about the conversation with Nell, because it made Nell upset to where she had to let him know that she was, a little perturbed by it. And Martell said he gonna check a woman no matter who she is, no matter where it's at, no matter what time of day, no matter what day of the week, no matter what week of the month. I'm like, wait a doggone minute. Chris Fletcher, I'm gonna need you to check Martell. He's his friend and he gave him a little bit, but I need you to check Martell, because what you're not gonna do is talk to my wife to where she feels a certain type of way. If you can't respect her enough to calm down and stop yelling and screaming, because that's what you're not gonna do. You're not her brother, you're not her daddy, and yet and still that's my wife. I would like to hear something like that versus come talk to me instead of talking to my wife, because he should be able to you should hold him accountable, Chris Fletcher, for keeping his anger in check and respecting your wife in conversation, because now, you're giving him the green light to just, continuously be disrespectful. You see what he did to his ex-wife, child, and it always goes back to how he treats women. Just like he did with Tiffany when Lewis stepped to him. Lewis stepped physically to Martell, because that's what you're supposed to do when a man is disrespecting your wife. Even though Martell didn't yell at Tiffany, I can imagine. Now, Martell ain't stupid. I know he wasn't going to yell at the woman. But the fact that he, approached her in that way, Luz had to let him know, don't you ever approach my wife like that again. A pregnant woman that's about to give birth and you approaching her with some stress-like stuff? Nah, dog, nah. And then it's about some bull, too. I remember that. Y'all remember that? Lewis Fitz, that's what you posted, Lou. Big ups to Lou, like I've been saying. They all need to take a lesson out of Lou, but they don't want to because they still want to do their dirt, going to Colombia and Africa and carrying on without their wife. Like, we don't know what's going on. Anywho, we're going to move on because, So Kimmy and Tisha do a yawning steam. How many times we going to see these folks doing yawning steams on these shows, child? See, I ain't even going to say that. I'm not even going to go there. Anyway, In the midst of all this, because Tisha's been getting sick, having, flu-like symptoms or pregnancy symptoms, even though Marcel got a vasectomy, she felt like she needed to take a pregnancy test based on the criteria for taking a Yoni. If you think you're pregnant, or if you are pregnant in your early stages, the steam isn't good, because of the chemical type properties and what it does, with all that going into your body. And we all know, excessive heat is not good either, but most likely all those different herbs and spices ain't good for the zygote. Okay. Um, so Kimmy and Tisha doing this Johnny Steen that we didn't see everybody do. We seen the Braxtons do it. We didn't seen did Bell Collective do it? I guess Bell Collective is next. Some housewives, child. Did Married to Medicine do it, child? Who ain't did it? The men. Anywho, so Tisha's sick and tired of talking about Kiki, but she bring up Kiki. Somebody help me make that make sense. But yeah, Tisha's overwhelmed and she's yelling at her kids. She even asked her daughter, "Do I yell at you more?" And daughter was like, "Yeah." So, she's just trying to keep busy with the kids' social life and fictitious business accusations, making the state or the city come down, checking on them based on, we got a call, we've got word that so and so, all these fictitious accusations. It's so pretty much everything is getting at her. I think a lot of what's getting at her too is her husband's activities and accusations too, because the one thing that she's not talking about really is the reasons her and Kiki fell out, based on the conversations her and Kiki has been having about her husband, not Kiki's husband, but Tisha's husband, and all of what Kiki knows and all of the real deal Holyfield info that they don't want let out. Like, all these couples have things that they've talked about already that they don't want out, but yet and still they coming out. So they doing a Yanni Steen. They can just continuously talking. Kimmy wants it to help her with her libido, but if he wasn't satisfying Kimmy before she found out she had the cancer, then maybe it ain't you. It's not always the woman. Now, although her libido is next low or next to nothing, I get it. She's trying to do everything she can to get that feeling back. Sometimes that happens with women just on GP, and the fact that she's had all these dangerous and toxic chemicals running through her veins and tissues, it's going to take some time. So I'm glad that she's taking the initiative to get her body back to where it was, or even better. Good. But yeah, that's going to be real interesting because, like I mentioned with Tisha, right now, all of a sudden Marcel wants to go to therapy because of how Tisha is feeling and reacting to things. Isn't it ironic how once it's Tisha who was a target for a little, third party intervention, he's all gung ho. But when it was him, I don't go. She got to trick him to go, and and once Dr. Francis was really getting to the bottom of things, I don't think Dr. Francis is right for me or right for us. No, he's the perfect one for y'all because he sees through all that BS. Child, please. Anyway, so next we got Chris, what's his name? Senior meeting with Chris Jr. And, they're just talking and going through the motions about how, he's just going through it. Chris Jr. thinks he's, too down, getting up at all hours of the morning, driving, just trying to clear his mind and whatnot. But he got a lot going on because, he fits the description. And I believe young Black men, since we're talking about young Black men, needs to stop looking like they fit the description. Okay? I understand you want to look a certain way and what and whoop de whoop, but especially you're in the South too. It's all that, and I'm coming from a mother's perspective. All that needs to stop. Tattoos of the yin yang. You need to look like you want to be respected. And again, what he looks like right here, he looks like he fits the description. And it's just not cool. And all this cussing that they doing, they just real disrespectful to their parents. I mean, that's what their parents allow. However, comma, not here. There should be a level of respect to where you know certain profanity shouldn't come out your mouth just because you're an adult, especially when they are still taking care of you. I just want, I really want him to just stop looking like he fit the description. You know, change your mindset. You know, do some things that are more productive to your longevity on this earth. Going to the studio, probably getting high and drinking. Now he didn't say that, but that's probably what he's doing because again, he fits the description. And yeah, tattoos are cool and plaques in your hair, but you fit the description. So how about you know, like I said, maybe they should just stop fitting the description and they can probably have a better outcome in life. Now I'm not saying that'll solve it because we all know from that child McLean out there in Colorado, he did not fit the description. So again, that proves that they don't need a reason. But once you look like you fit the description, it'll give them carte blanche. And also, because I haven't heard yet that you were wrongfully accused of going to jail that cost your mama over $6,000, and the fact that she's taking care of your dog responsibilities means that he is really irresponsible and he needs to quit all that. But yeah, we're going to move on because I'm a mother and I can talk about being a parent all day. So yeah, so Tiffany's overwhelmed, child. Every time we see her, she doing laundry and Lou coming in like, hey, how you doing? Fold laundry again? But yeah, she didn't think that what he said was true. It all came to fruition. You know, she married this man, she trusts this man, but then again, she didn't. You know, she's just like, I just can't believe all this is happening, and so now they're both questioning whether or not they should return to the show. And no, they're not returning to the show. Ain't that nothing? Mm, mm, mm. We gonna miss Lou. Yes, we are. We gonna miss him. Poor baby Ace didn't ask to be here. But he is. And we're going to go on to season 6, episode 27. Child, now Kimmy is making moves, making ish happen. You know, the brother-in-law to the left, he's slow bopping with the work, and husband to the right, well, to my left and my right, um, ain't really pushing his brother to do the work as fast as she could. It's been going on for too long. So now certain things she needs in her office space, she needs for Maurice to do because why pay somebody else to do these little things that should have been done already? And she's sick and tired of being sick and tired. Maurice is still giving, you know, excuse after excuse after excuse, but she mentioned how he was so gung-ho on doing things for her in the beginning of their relationship, but he's no longer doing them. Well, he did what he did to get you. You know, he lied to you just like he lied, kept lying and kept lying and kept lying to you in your marriage. So, you know, that's that on that. And he ain't gonna do it. You probably gonna have to do it. But anyway, it was just a small little something. She did also bring up the fact that a pregnancy test was taken by Tisha, and he got upset. I bet you he went and told his brother. Child, wait till we find that out in the next episode when Tisha tells Marceau about the pregnancy test. Remember in the trailer how he was like, "What you mean you're not gonna tell me you ain't doing it with nobody else?" She pulled a Marcel on Marcel. But again, that's for the next episode. But yeah, all right, that's who you married, Kimmy. Love him, love it, girl, love it. So next, we got Stormy visiting Tisha at Tisha's new real estate office that she's getting now. I thought she said she was overwhelmed. I guess. So yeah, Stormy visits Letitia, and Stormy really wants to get Tisha and her cousin Kiki back together, but Tisha's done with it. She still believes Kiki's on that stuff based on the same types of behaviors Kiki is exhibiting now. Tisha is convinced, her and Marcel, but more so, Tisha is convinced her cousin is still on that stuff. Child, then I start talking about the website debacle. I'm with Stormy on this one. There is no way that Tisha should refuse to apologize because her so-called staff copied Stormy's website word for word, even to the down to Stormy's email contact info. I don't know if it was Tisha who did it, or if it was the actual web designer. Who'd you get to do it? Some eighth grader out of your kid's school? Because shouldn't you double check things before they go out and it's published? I'm just saying, since it's your business, you should, I don't know, child. It just seemed real shady that Tisha wouldn't even apologize, for, first of all, that's a lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? And if it was anybody else, I'm pretty sure they would have just sent a cease and desist or some type of other legal paperwork over that meant that you ain't doing no more business. Because, child, that was a lot. That was a lot. And looking at Stormy's face, like, girl, do you know what I can do to you and your business if you mess with mine again? That was heavy. How you gonna copy the contact information? Now Tisha got 2 MBAs. How does that happen? I don't know, child. But next we got Chris visiting his wife Nell, letting him know about the conversation he had with Chris Jr. in a previous episode about how Chris, depressed, and Chris is going to end up talking to somebody, and it's really not just what we think about him being, a screw up. Because Nell was like, oh, so he just, doing, yin and yang. But no, Nell came. I love their relationship, because after Nell said what she said, how about her disappointment in her son, she listened to her husband and immediately became as concerned as Chris was with their son. And I love that she didn't keep up, her anger with her kid. She ain't gonna, press him no more about any money since he's going through. And, she was like, I'm with you, and they gave a kiss, and that was it. It was a hot old day, so it wasn't a whole lot going on. But yeah, I'm glad that they are a united front because excuse me, when it comes to the mental wellness of their children, it's important to be there for your kids. I know it may be difficult, but it's important to be there in the right way for your children. Decency and order. Yes. So we're going on a lighter note. What's her name? Melody meeting up with Tisha and Kimmy for a pedicure. Now, Melody said, my toes always did, but I'm gonna go and see what these girls are doing, see how crusty their feet is. But yeah, it was an awkward moment because Melody was, this was after, on the heels of her name change, and them two was not invited. Now, I'm pretty sure that Tisha didn't really care about it in that way. Like, I know I wasn't going, so it's all good. But the fact of the relationship that Melody has with Kimmy, and what we've seen all along is that, and what was said by Mel is that she respects Kimmy. She's one of her, closest friends she has on the show. But I think that dwindled down, honey, from the last time she said that, because she didn't even send an invite. And Kimmy was like, my phone didn't click. What's up? So Melody did everything but tell the truth. I'm gonna need Melody to be honest with these people, and not just when she's heated and mad about something, because she's doing the same thing to them she did to Destiny, in my opinion. She started backing up, backing off, and not really giving the reasons why. She's just, doing it for her own, mental wellness. But if you have an investment in these people that you've taken into your life, been around your kids, have loved on, and they have loved on you, I believe that they have, you should respect them enough and let them know how you feel about them, how you really feel. Because I don't think she did. I really don't think. You can obviously see that Kimmy was hurt. And, but, Mel wanted people with a genuine effort towards her. And apparently Kimmy ain't one of them. And sure enough, Tisha ain't one of them either. But, now Kimmy knows. Now Kimmy knows. So lastly, we have Stormy and Courtney. They are doing some bowling. Not bowling, child. Playing pool, billiards, playing pool. And they invited the Scotts. But as you can tell on Stormy's face, she's done because they were an hour and a half late. Things still not really resolved because the word bitch still comes out of Stormy's mouth in regards to Tisha's husband. I'm waiting on Tisha to say something to this woman, because there is no reason why. There's no reason why by now Tisha ain't checked Stormy the way she supposed to. It shouldn't be up to Marceau to go to Courtney about Courtney's wife. That should be a direct conversation between Tisha and Stormy. Stop calling my man a bitch, or you're going to have more problems than possibly the law will allow. Stop. Hey, say what you got to say instead of just, trying to act like, you're not going to cause problems and not be a representative for my children to see on TV, or, all that mumbo jumbo. No, all that go out the window once you start calling my man a bitch, like I said before. Now, Melody can call her bitch, and are they just some bitchs? I don't know, but I don't appreciate it. And I'm kind of, cool on the passive aggressiveness that both Stormy and Courtney give the Scotts. Y'all gotta let them know, period, point blank, how they are going to respect you, because this passive aggressive mess gotta stop. What else? Is that it? I think that was it, child. Yeah, so that's that on that. And I'm cool. They, dapped up and showed love a little bit, but we know that's fake. We know that's fake. Well, that was it, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 26 and 27. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And please share this with the folks on the internet. And I will catch y'all later another time. Here's an outro.